Hi, I'm Melissa Cobb. Come fly with AOPA. Unusual attitudes is something that we practice in our primary training to become private pilots, and something we work on through our instrument and advanced certificates and ratings, and even sometimes on flight reviews, because if inadvertent flight into IMC, we might need it to get out. Well, AOPA pilot editor at Large Dave Hirschman takes unusual attitudes to the extreme in an extra.
Trust your instruments is an old IFR truism, even though pilots know our avionics have never been completely reliable. But now, a new generation of digital, all-in-one attitude indicators promises far greater fidelity than pilots have ever had. The AOPA Extra 300L, donated by Bruce Williams, recently had its panel upgraded at Southeast Aero, and the new Garmin GI 275s can stay oriented throughout 360 degrees of pitch and roll. To put them to the test, we papered over the airplane's front canopy so that the front seat pilot had no view of the outside world at all. Then Richard McSpadden, head of the AOPA Air Safety Institute, put the Extra in a series of progressively more extreme upsets while flying in the unobstructed rear seat.
Recover. So are you finding that difficult at all to just go entirely on the attitude?
No, it feels quite natural.
Pretty natural? Okay. All right, Dave, recover.
Hey, I've got the nose coming down. Just keep the nose below the horizon for now and power up.
Did you find that hard at all? Just doing it on the, that was pretty extreme attitude.
No, I mean it's actually, it's kind of cheating because this GI 275, it draws me a picture. It's got arrows, it's got arrows for the, pointing toward the recovery.
Nice. We
even took it a step further by having the front seat pilot perform a series of aerobatic maneuvers, including loops, rolls, and spins, completely under the hood.
All right, one try spin?
Yep.
All right, your airplane.
All right, here we go. I'm just going to raise the nose, reduce the power.
IMC spin recovery. Seldom taught. All right.
Okay, so that's established.
Yep,
opposite rudder, forward
spin.
stick. Nose down attitude. Powering up.
There you go.
The GI 275 stayed oriented throughout 360 degrees of pitch and roll, and the screens easily kept up with the Extra's roll rate. As these and other solid-state attitude instruments are broadly installed throughout the general aviation fleet, the old truism about trusting your instruments will be truer than ever.
Bruce Williams donated that Extra to AOPA with two goals in mind. One, he wanted us to create several safety education videos, and the one that we just saw is one of those. Air Safety Institute has done a bunch. You can see more of those on their YouTube channel. We'll drop a link to that below in this description. Now, the other reason he donated it was for AOPA to eventually sell it, and for the proceeds to support general aviation and AOPA's mission, AOPA's advocacy efforts, and our member and benefits and products. And so that time has come. We're actually putting the Extra up for auction. It's on aircraftbidder.com now, so you can read and see all about it. And it's going to open, the auction is going to open on March 20th and close on March 31st. So who knows, maybe one of you are going to be doing unusual attitudes in the Extra not too long from now. Now, the other thing is, what if you have an aircraft that you would like to donate and help general aviation? Well, we have a Give Wings program where you can donate your aircraft to AOPA and we'll sell it to support general aviation and our initiatives that do that. And we have a link to that program down below in the description as well. Well, let's hope that whoever wins the Extra will have an easier time at changing the aircraft registration now that the FAA backlog for processing time of aircraft registrations is starting to come down. And that's in part to AOPA's advocacy efforts. So I'm sure if any of you have purchased an aircraft in the last year or so, you're painfully aware of how long it's taken for you to get your registration certificate back. Well, the processing time for registration before the holidays was as high as 190 days. And that's come down. In January, it was 148 days. So the FAA has made some changes that AOPA has been working with them on. And AOPA Vice President of Regulatory Affairs, Murray Hewling, joins us now to talk about some of these latest changes and what AOPA has been doing. Hey, Murray, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Alyssa. It's good to be here and out of the Washington, D.C. office.
That's right. You're giving us a peek into where all the action takes place on the advocacy front.
Yes.
All right. So tell us, what has the FAA done to the duration of aircraft registration certificates that's going to help lower this processing time?
Yeah, sure. So at the end of January, the FAA issued a final rule that extended aircraft registrations from the original 3 years out to 7 years now, and that's for all aircraft.
Okay, so if owners want to go in and see what their new expiration date is for their aircraft registration certificate, how can they find that information out?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the FAA has already went in the electronic database for the aircraft registry, and they have extended all the certificates that are current and valid out to the 7-year mark. So an owner that has that aircraft, they can actually go in now and see what their new date is going to be. And then what the FAA is doing now also is they're going to be reissuing new hard card registration certificates. And the way they're going about that is they understand that there's a lot of registration certificates that are imminently going to be need renewal here shortly. So they've looked ahead a few months, and they are bulk mailing those out now to those owners that are going to be expiring soon. And then from that point on, they're going to be every month issuing bulk and staying ahead of all of them that are coming due during the future months until they're all issued new certificates.
So I also understand that the FAA has made some changes, and these are going to apply to new aircraft owners, folks buying an aircraft. And that changes to the duration of the pink copy or that aircraft registration application. So Murray, tell us a little bit about the changes for that.
Yeah, sure. So with that rulemaking that happened at the end of January, they also did away with the 90-day validity period of the pink copy. And in lieu of that, they have now it's valid for up to 12 months. So, and there's no need to request an extension either. So it was a good move with that rulemaking to help keep pilots in the air.
Wonderful. And can you give us a peek behind the scenes? What has AOPA been doing to help get these changes in place and reduce that processing time? Because I know we've been hearing from a lot of members for a long time about about this painful topic.
Yeah, that's certainly true, and we've been heavily involved. I've been working directly with the FAA leadership that have the registry branch under them, and the FAA was up over 190 days just before the holidays. As of this morning, they're hitting 143 days. So we've seen a good decline, but there's still a lot of work to do in this area. I stay constantly involved with them to ensure that we and the FAA meet that goal of 30 days, because that's the amount of time that we want to see is a 30-day turn time and no more than that.
Yeah. Well, Murray, we appreciate all you're doing on behalf of us aircraft owners and all the work you're going to continue doing.
Yeah, thank you. It's a privilege to serve our members and the flying public out there to keep everyone's right to fly active.
All right. Thanks, Murray.
You bet. Thanks.
Well, I heard some good news recently, and I wanted to share it with you all, and that is the National STOL Series released their 2023 schedule. So, short takeoff and landing competitions keep gaining in popularity, and so They have their competitions all throughout the United States. Their first one is going to kick off in March in Louisiana. That is Swamp Stoll. Then there's Outlaw Stoll in Arizona in April, and SoCal Stoll in California in May. Now another one coming up actually the weekend before AirVenture starts, so July 22nd and 23rd, is Sodbuster Stoll, and that's at the Hartford Airport in Wisconsin. So stop in there, enjoy that before you head on into AirVenture. They have a lot more on their schedule, so take a look at the link in the description below, and you can get that full schedule because they run through October, and then their national Stoll finals competition is going to be in December. So an exciting lineup that I'm sure a lot of us are going to want to take in and see. Now there's another event that I hope that we'll come and see you at, and that is the AOPA fly-in at the Buckeye Air Fair. That's coming up February 17th through 19th. A lot of AOPA staff are going to be there and excited to meet with you. It's a family-friendly event. Special things for the kids to do, so please bring your whole family. We're going to have a special dedicated viewing area for AOPA members to watch the Buckeye Air Fair Air Show. There will be educational seminars, an exhibit area, and AOPA President Mark Baker is also going to be hosting a town hall. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope to see you there. Now, if you're like me, and during these winter months especially, you're doing most of your flying close to home, you can live vicariously. Let's head out to Tofino on the coast of Vancouver Island for some helicopter and seaplane flying. Tofino has landed on TripAdvisor's Best Places to Visit in 2023, and AOPA Pilot Senior Features Editor Julie Summers Walker joins us to give us advice on what to do when we go there besides flying, so we can take in the whole area. Julie, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Alyssa. It's great to be here.
All right. Well, tell us, what should pilots, when should people go to visit and enjoy different aspects of the area?
Well, so the way I found this place, because it is kind of off our beaten path, is also, in addition to TripAdvisor, Condé Nast and Travel and Leisure have also picked up Tofino. And the reason was because in the winter, the storms come in off the Pacific with such ferocity, I guess is the best way to say it, and they crash against all those rocks and mountains and inlets and create a really magnificent nature's fury at her best, and so one of the big inns in Tofino had actually decided to help with their tourism in the off season by saying, come storm watch from our inn, because their inn, it's the Wickenish Inn, is all windows onto the coast. So for storm watching and for impressive wave action, actually the fall and winter are the best. And the surfing, if you're a surfer, if you really know what to surf, that's the time to go. The waves are 5, 6, 10 overhead and gorgeous. And but we were there in June, which is high season, and the surf is there. It's definitely good surf. It's more like the long, mellow surf. If you're a newbie and never surfed before, perfect way to learn. It has like 4 or 5 surf shops in this teeny little town. And my background, ironically, is that my husband and I owned surf shops at one time, and I was a surfer. So it was really exciting to go there and to see this, because Tofino is known as the surfing capital of Canada.
So it sounds like weather lovers should definitely visit in the winter, and that surfers really can go and enjoy any time of the year. But if pilots want to go and they want to fly, or they want to do, a helicopter or seaplane tour like we saw a little bit of, when should they go?
Well, honestly, again, we were there in June, so I can only really speak to that. However, Jay, the guy who owns at Leo Air, he basically says any time is a fantastic time to see all the amazing things, because it's not just about the weather, it's also all the wildlife. He was telling us he had gone out on a helicopter and he had seen, in just one short trip, he had seen the giant sunfish, he had seen bear, he had seen whales, both the gray whale and orcas, and they had seen just amazing wildlife in one trip. It's like nature's playground, maybe. Just an awful lot of fun anytime, I think.
Okay, well, thanks. I'm going to have to add that onto my bucket list.
Sure, I'd love to go back myself.
Hey, and if any of you have been to Tofino, drop us a note in the comments below with your recommendations. And if it's on your bucket list like mine, let us know what you're looking forward to most when you go there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Fly with AOPA. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all our latest aviation videos. Well, this week we leave you with some footage from Jim Smitty Smith for a flight over Lake Texoma. That's between Texas and Oklahoma. Well, be sure to send in your favorite flying videos at the link in the description. You just might see them in an upcoming episode. And as always, if you're not already an AOPA pilot, we'd love for you to join us. Click the link at the end of the video to learn more. We'll see you next week.